welcome back. Now, our next guest is a best-selling author whose books have been sold around the world and translated into 8 different languages.
Joining us now to talk about her latest book, The Lighthouse Secret, is author Carmel Harrington. Good morning to Carmel.
Good morning.
We say best-selling author and world-renowned, and Muireann's going, yes, but she is. When you look at it, though, sold in 11 territories, 8 languages. Like, for somebody who was hiding her first books under her mattress, this must be huge.
It is huge. And, you know, it's when you see your book translated, it does give you, makes you feel like a proper author. I don't know what it is about seeing your name in another language. There's something about that.
Is it weird when you're looking at it like that?
It is. It's weird and wonderful. It is really, you get a kick out of it. And I love seeing those editions when they come through. And it's interesting to see how they change the title slightly.
Oh, yeah.
And how your name is, like how Harrington is in a different language.
Of course, you never think of that.
It's kind of interesting. And then it was a real kick, like, obviously, to be a bestseller in America, because, like, that's a territory that we all kind of want to conquer. So I think that was a firework moment for me, you know, in my career.
It is a huge territory. Can we go back to the books underneath the bed? What?
Oh, I was a devil. I don't know. I really was quite scared about telling anybody that I was writing books. So I had 2 books written, and literally they were, as Alan said, they were under the bed. Like they were. And my husband said to me, he said, you can't, we'll have no room under the bed. You can't
keep writing books.
You're going to have to show someone.
It's propping up the mattress at this stage.
You have to show someone.
It was crazy. But it was actually, Amelia was, she's 14, so it's 14 years ago. So she was a couple of months old and I was on maternity leave because I was a sales and marketing manager doing a very different job, but writing kind of whenever I wasn't working.
Yeah.
Or partying, maybe a little bit. But I remember looking at Amelia and she was in her cot and she was fast asleep, and I was having one of those lovely mother moments, you know, where you're kind of dreaming about maybe what her possibilities in her future would be. And I was wishing all sorts in my mind for her. And then I thought, you're such a fraud, Harrington, because here you are with 2 books written under your bed and you're too scared to show them to anyone in case they don't like it. And I thought, that's not really what I want for my children. So I walked out to my husband and I said, I'm going to go for it.
But Carmel, do you know what's lovely as well? And I think anybody watching this morning in writing books, in acting or anything like that, how many rejections did you get from agents?
Oh, 47. 47, yeah. It was fun.
Like, isn't that just amazing though, where people would just go, well, I'm just going to give up then?
But you know what, Alan, I always say this to other writers if they ask me for, you know, for advice or whatever, and I just say to them, you only need 1 yes. That's all you need. And when I got my 1 yes, within 3 months I had a book deal with HarperCollins. So it happened really quickly. Once I had put in the kind of, you know, the hard work. And it's hard. Like, it's not easy. It isn't easy to kind of, when you get a no and you kind of feel like going, oh, maybe I'll leave it.
Exactly.
But then I just kept, my children did kind of inspire me, and they'll go mad now, me saying this, but they did. I kind of wanted to do, I wanted to show them that you can dust yourself off and keep going for it. That's
absolutely fantastic. Do you know what? It's lovely to hear that.
Oh, thank you.
My God, do people gobble up your books? Like, I mean, you know, in a week people have them done. Tell us about your latest book. It's The Lighthouse Secret. Guess what? Full of intrigue, lads.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery in this.
There is a lot, yeah.
Yeah, there's mysteries in both the kind of the past and the present. It's set between Ballycotton and East Cork. And if you haven't been there, I feel like I'm on the tourist board, but I keep talking about it, but it is a stunning coastal
village. And you write it
country,
beautifully.
Yeah. It's just gorgeous. So it's set between there and Maine in New England. And it's between 1951 and the present day. And the story starts in 1951 with 4 lighthouse keepers' wives who are making a vow never to tell about the crime that they've committed the previous day. And then, of course, someone does tell, because it wouldn't be a book if somebody didn't tell. But 70 years later, the granddaughter of one of those keepers' wives receives an anonymous letter saying, family secrets never stay buried.
And she's a TV presenter.
She's a TV presenter, very like you two, very glamorous. And she's on a TV show.
TV presenter.
A breakfast TV show.
Yeah, she's a breakfast TV show presenter.
Very popular, very much beloved. And in fact,
so not us then.
Yes. Well, she goes on. Her name is Molly Kennefic, and she's wonderful, actually. She's very glamorous. And I have to say, like, I know you've read the book, but she has a little bit of you. I have to say, she does.
Muireann.
She does. She kind of has your hair. She does, genuinely. But I loved writing Molly, and she's a great character. She really is. She's kind of multi-layered as well.
She has a lot going on.
She's a lot going on. I kind of wanted, because one of the themes in the story, apart from the intrigue and the mysteries, I did want to kind of look at the societal expectation to have children in the 50s. So Beth, who's 17 in 1951, it's kind of a coming-of-age story for her because everybody expects her to do as her mother did and get married to a lighthouse keeper and start having children. And a circus comes to town and her head is turned. And it's kind of her really trying to... She's lived in lighthouses her whole life and she's watched the horizon and watched ships sail over them and she wants to see what's on the other side of that horizon. But equally in the present day, Molly, who is the breakfast presenter, the TV presenter...
Her granddaughter,
that's Beth's granddaughter. And in the present day, she's asking herself the question whether she wants to start a family or not. And her husband does. So it's quite nice to tease apart the same subject for very different generations.
Exactly.
It's also interesting of what we know about our parents and our grandparents and their multi-layered lives, that as children, you're like, sure, they don't have anything going on.
I know.
But in this, there's just other lives that we don't think about, isn't it?
Well, I found that really fascinating because there is a mother and daughter relationship in 1951. Beth, as I said, is 17, and her mother, Kathleen, who's 37. But Beth thinks that she's old. Beth thinks that her mother, Kathleen, is old at 37.
At 37, and 51, 1951, 37 was old. Considered old.
Yeah, so she kind of thinks she'll never understand my wants and desires. She'll never get it. But of course, Kathleen at 37 is a vibrant woman with her own wants and desires and does get it. And I found that interesting myself because my mum and I have the same age gap as Beth and Kathleen. Mum was very young when she had me. And when I remember when I was 17 and Mum mentioned something about a previous boyfriend and I was like, what?
Excuse me?
You had a life before my father? And I couldn't believe it. And I saw my mother in kind of a new light. So I did kind of use some of my own experiences with my own mother in this.
It's really well done.
The Lighthouse Secret, the queen of emotional Irish fiction.
Well, yeah.
That's what she is. The brand new one from Carmel Harrington, as always. Lovely to see you. You look fantastic. Thank you so much. Brand new one. It is out now. Make sure you get your hands on it. Coming up tomorrow on Ireland AM, a trio of male celebrity royalty architects.